Before we begin, like this video if you believe no one should suffer because of the color of their skin. Comment below. Would you forgive someone who once treated you like you were nothing? Share this story with someone who needs to see that justice can come from the most unexpected places. Subscribe for more stories that expose the dark side of power and celebrate those who rise above it. Her name was Amaka Johnson. Black, brilliant, invisible. For 6 years, she scrubbed the floors of Grant Caldwell's billion-dollar estate. In Beverly Hills, the palace of a man who built his fortune off generational wealth, ruthless deals, and a deep-seated hatred for people who didn't look like him. He called her girl. He mocked her accent. He told his guests she was just the help. Every time she cried, she wiped her tears before stepping back into his grand marble halls. But one evening, the world shifted. During a heated gala, a rival executive exposed Grant's biggest secret. His empire thrived on illegally evicting black families from their homes, laundering money through shell companies, and bribing officials to keep it quiet. That a furious argument broke out. Grant shouted slurs, his voice echoing through the ballroom as cameras flashed. He was live, broadcasted to millions. His mask slipped. Chaos as his reputation burned. Grant collapsed. A heart attack. The staff panicked. Guests screamed. But Amaka stepped forward. She called 911, did CPR, kept him alive. The paramedics arrived. Cameras captured her name, her face, her courage. The next morning, reporters flooded the mansion gates. Who is Amaka Johnson? Why did the billionaire's maid save the man who degraded her? Days passed. Grant survived, but his power didn't. A court-appointed investigation exposed everything. Properties seized, accounts frozen. His board demanded answers. His investors fled. His carefully curated image of a visionary leader shattered. Then, a bombshell. Grant's late wife had left a hidden clause in her will, a trust granting Amaka 51% control of the family's companies if Grant was ever incapacitated due to misconduct. Amaka walked into the corporate tower Grant once ruled. She wore a sleek black suit, hair braided to perfection, head high. She stood before the same men who used to call her worthless. You all built this empire on hate, she said calmly, her voice echoing across the polished boardroom. But from now on, it will be rebuilt on justice. She fired every executive tied to the evictions. She rehired the workers Grant underpaid. She started scholarship programs for black students. She sold the mansions Grant stole and returned the money to displaced families. Grant watched from his hospital bed, powerless. The news headlines scrolled across every screen. Former Maid now runs billionaire's empire, turns hate into hope. If you read this far, like, because every underdog deserves justice. Comment what you'd do if you were in Amaka's shoes. Share with someone who needs a reminder that power can change hands overnight.